So on the staff training materials here, we have this slide deck. So I've been putting this up here for notes for you guys to join into later. So if you want to full screen them, all you have to do is, I've already sent this out on the email. This is all together there. You can full screen your notes right here through the button, and we're into my slides. So some common shortcuts that people seem to forget with the Mac, and this is a slide you could probably print out today and use. All right, Command S, save, copy, paste, and undo. These are ones that work on Chromebooks, it works on Macs, it works on pretty much everything. And this key might change if you're on a Windows computer. All right, but some of the things that you might not necessarily know are Command-Shift-3, which is a screenshot on a Mac, or a selective screenshot, which is a Command-Shift-4. All right, so these may be helpful for you, but another one that might be quite helpful is paste and match style. So one thing to think about when you're using a paste and match style is that you've selected something from the internet, and you got to paste it, and the background's white, or it's in a weird font. If you do Command-Shift-V when you paste something in, what happens is that you're able to paste it, but it forgets all the formatting when it comes in. So for Mike just coming in, I just got into the first slide really here. So we're talking about some common Mac shortcuts that people don't always forget. This is a slide that you can print out and use hopefully tomorrow. Who knows? All right. So moving forward. So when you're away from your Mac and you want to, let's say you're in the computer lab, and you want to use your computer back in your classroom, a thing that Macs allow you to do is to do a VNC screen share. And our computers are set up to do this already. All you need to know is your computer's IP address, which I can actually get a list for you if you're interested. Otherwise, all you need to do is go to your network button. And I'm going to show you that live. So in your system preferences, which is right here, right? It's a system preferences button right here on the screen. If you click on that, if it's not in your dock, that's okay. You can use find your system preferences through the spotlight. But to find your computer's IP address, you can go to the Network tab, and it'll tell you your IP address right in the middle of the screen here. That's something that won't change very much at Wapaka School District. So if you know your IP address, you could write that down, put it in your wallet, put it in a place that you know where you can get at it, and you can get at things. So back into that slide, what that allows you to do is, if I go to my Finder, I hit the Go button, I can bring up this window for Connect to Server. In the VNC and my IP address, it's connecting to my computer. And then I can jump in and away. I can control that computer exactly. So I'm not messing around with some common login. I'm actually driving the computer in my classroom. So what we do to get there, and I'm a little all over the place, driving two computers at the same time here. All right, so this next slide just shows you how to find it. So we're going into our system preferences, our network, and finding that IP address. So write that down, put it someplace else. So some of the things that we need to remember with our iMacs, they can handle a lot of things, but let's go through some basic things that you can do to make your iMac run better. And this is all user stuff. It's not the things that the IT department can do for you. So for the first thing I can say to everybody out there at Wapaka School District is restart your iMac daily. Don't wait a week. Don't wait a month. Today I had a teacher that had a DVD player that didn't want to work. I restarted the computer, and it works. So something as simple as a restart will help you. So all you need to do is go to your Apple menu and hit restart. Upper left corner of your screen and restart. Go get a coffee, and your computer will work better on your next login. Yes, you do need to save your work occasionally when you do that, but restarting your computer will keep it running more smoothly. All right. I gotta get better at controlling these. Keeping your desktop and your downloads clean. It's an important thing to think about, and I hit that multiple times. All right, 2 places that can slow your computer down. If you have a lot of things on your desktop of your computer, the screen that has all the stuff on it, maybe a hard drive icon, what that does is your computer expects that anything that's saved on this area right here, your desktop, is expecting you're going to use them at any point. So what you need to do is the clearer you can keep that, the faster your computer will run. You can put shortcuts on that to another place. So normally in most people's icons, you have a little folder down here for your network server documents. If I go in and open that in my Finder, it brings up a window. This is the spot on the server where all of your stuff is saved on the network. What you can do is click on that folder, right, and hit Command L. And it makes what's called an alias, a shortcut. So I can drag that on my desktop. That's a very small file. But it redirects me to this folder on my network drive, which is over here. Anything I drag into this folder automatically gets uploaded here. What that does is it makes sure that I'm backing things up all the time instead of leaving documents lay on my desktop. So I could have multiple folders sitting within this area here. All I have to do is make a new folder, and I can do that. And one thing that can be very simple for you, if I right-click up on this gray space in a window here, which this computer is not set up for a right-click, so I'm going to fix that right now. All right. So if I right-click in that gray space up here, and I hit Customize Toolbar, I can add a new folder icon up there. I can add a delete key up onto that area. So anything that I add into that space up here, I can add a new folder just by clicking on that icon in my network drive, and I can help my organization out. I can click on that same folder, hit Command L to make an alias for my network drive, and that folder, now anything that I drag from here goes into my network drive, and it's backed up. It's safe. It's never going away unless something happens to that server. But it's always going to be backed up. So all I have to do is drag things into those aliases, and it's already uploaded. So anything that I add into... All right. So some other things to think about here. I'm just going to get back into my slides. I'm a little bit all over the place. Since I've got a live audience in the room now, is there anything that you're wondering about that's going on so far?
Did you go through screenshots?
I haven't covered screenshots yet, and that's coming up. So let's jump ahead a little bit because I don't want to be mindful of your time. So one thing I want to talk about quickly is emptying your trash. So before I get to screenshots, USB drives and Macs. All right. If you delete an item on a USB drive and it's in your trash can, and then you eject your disk, but you didn't empty your trash, it's still on your USB drive. So the next time you plug your USB drive, it'll be back in your trash again. So you need to empty your trash when you delete things off of USB drives. All right. So make sure that you empty your trash regularly too, because the fatter your hard drive gets, the slower your computer is. All right. So moving forward, maybe. All right. Web browsers, I really recommend people stick to Google Chrome. There's faster ways of switching between accounts. So if you have a personal account versus another account, you can toggle back and forth quite quickly. I'll breeze through that a little bit more. But this is the thing that Mike was just talking about, with screenshots. So Command-Shift-3 on your keyboard, I can do a screenshot. So if I hit Command, Shift, and 3, it takes a shot of everything that's on my desktop. I'm just going to minimize that. So that screenshot that I just took is right here, and it's opening that in preview. All right, so here's my screenshot. But if I hit Command, Shift, 4, it brings up crosshairs. All right, the crosshairs allows me to select little pieces of my screen. So if I only need that picture of that folder, now it's only made a screenshot of that folder. I know that's probably a dumb example, but there's sometimes where you just need a little snippet, and that's a handy swap around of things that you might need to do. Other things that Preview can do, this is not in the slides, but if I click on this little toolbox at the very top of the screen, and I'm looking at the wrong monitor again, very top of the screen, there's a little toolbox up here in Preview. If I zoom out of that, it gives me different tools that I can use to mark up this picture right in the operating system. So I can take a shape and I can circle things up within that document, save it, and draw somebody's attention to something. Maybe I would just want to mark up a PDF of somebody's document that's on paper. Maybe I took a picture of it. Maybe I just need to point to somebody saying, this is the button you push to make it work. So you may take a screenshot of a website that you want your students to go to, and you want to highlight the button that they always forget to push. All right, it might be the share button on a Google Doc. All right. Then all you have to do is hit save, and then you can upload it. All right. So I've been zooming in on things on my desktop, and this is one thing that I haven't talked about, but this is super handy when I'm talking about things when I'm working with my iMac and I want to draw attention to something for students, especially if they're sitting in a computer lab like this one. If you go to System Preferences and look for accessibility, it looks like this little blue icon. It's on the right side of the System Preferences page. This is accessibility. My favorite one is Zoom, but there's all kinds of other things you can tell your Mac to do. You can tell your Mac to read you a selection of text that's on your screen. You can even change the voice if you want to. But if I do this one, I'm just going to jump into System Preferences. I'm bumping back out. This is the accessibility over here on the right. All right. If I click on accessibility and I jump to Zoom, it gives me this option in the middle here. Use scroll gesture with modifiers to zoom. All right. So basically what this means is on my mouse, I've got my scroll button here, like my middle button, my zoom thing that goes up and down. On my Mac mouse here, it's a ball. So I'm pointing at it, kind of. It's looking terrible, I'm sure. But my mouse has a little ball in the middle, and I've lost everything. All right. So I've got my ball on my mouse. If I can pick what button on my keyboard will make me do it. I like the Command key because it's right next to my space bar, and it reminds me. It normally defaults to Control. I think that's a dumb button. But, pick the button that works for you. So what I would suggest is use the Command key, and I just hold that button and I zoom in out. It goes wherever the pointer is, which is really handy. There's a lot of kids that get lost on a screen when you're trying to give them instructions when you're talking about something in class. And if you're just doing something in class like Canva and you want to point, say, I need you to push this button to get brochure, that's what you're going to do. All right? So just going to zoom this out a little bit so we lost the picture a little. All right. So back into this lovely stuff. So the zoom slider's there. This is some of the stuff that I think that teachers really need to start learning how to do, especially when we have Chromebooks one-to-one. learning how to make recordings of your screen, how to make pictures, how to take pictures, how to make a quick video to explain to students that might not necessarily be, might be a visual auditory learner. All right. If we can learn to make screencasts with our computers in a quick way, that doesn't take a whole lot of messing around. You can get moving around here. So QuickTime is an easy way of doing that. I just have to find this icon in my applications folder. All right, and I'll do this live. So if I'm going to use the applications folder because this is normally how your computer shows us up. Otherwise, I can search for QuickTime in my Spotlight, which I might just do that because it's faster. So in the upper right corner is my Spotlight. So I'm just going to zoom in on that quick. So this little magnifying lens in the very upper right corner here. If I click on that, it brings up my Spotlight search. If I type in QUI, QuickTime Player should show up, and I should be able to hit the Enter key, and it should load. So now QuickTime is loading up down at the bottom here. And at first it'll say, it might just give you a window to open a different file, because it's a media player as well, right? But normally QuickTime will just show you at the top of the screen a bunch of menus. It's working properly then. What I need to do is go up to the File menu in QuickTime, and the first thing I can do is hit New Movie Recording. That's going to turn on my webcam. And now I'm over here. All right. So the webcam is turned on, and I can go into that computer, and I can either hit the record button here in the middle here, and it'll start recording my Mac. If I don't have anything going down here, that means I don't have a microphone turned on. So I push down next to it, and it'll tell me to select a microphone. All right. All I have to do then is hit the record button, and I can say my thing and move on. Another thing you can do with that is just to turn your webcam on and just have it in the corner. Because I found that a lot of the times with my students in the past, they wanted to see me in the video, especially if I'm doing a screencast. So then the next thing would be to go, without hitting the record button in that window, is to go to File and New Screen Recording. Now it's going to ask me to start recording. If I hit the record button here, I can either click to record the full screen or drag to record part of the screen. I'm just going to click the whole screen right now, and now I'm actually recording as soon as this little icon at the top of the screen goes black. It's a little black circle with a square in the middle of it. That's also where I turn my recording off. But my camera is live. I'm on camera. I'm able to explain what's going on, and then I can actually turn it off. We can do the same thing using the IPEVO document cameras as well. So we can turn our IPEVO camera on through the ImageMate application through a USB cable and be able to do a video recording of somebody's paper that you might be able to say, look, you're really not understanding paragraph structure, and I need to walk you through this on paper and give you a video, send it to them, and help them out. So we have more tools that we can use to help record and give our students some more examples of things that's going on. So if I hit the stop button here, it shows me my window, and all I have to do from there is hit Command S to save and tell it where I want it to stick it. Give it a name, and I'm going to stick that on my desktop for right now, and which is like, that's the wrong place to save it, but remember I have my shortcuts on my desktop. I can just file them away as soon as it saves. So then I can quit my QuickTime player, get rid of my little camera. Here's my little video here, and now I can drop that into my network drive. It's uploading. It's no longer to have to live on my hard drive here. It's somewhere else in the cloud. It's happy. It's not there anymore, and it's done. It's just something, I get it off my computer. I can access it from another computer if I need to. Also, if I move up to the high school and use their computers up there, it's on the network. So I can pull that file up. So if I have a meeting up at the high school, I could log in on one of their computers theoretically. I don't know. I've never done that because I'm new here. But theoretically that could work. So this upload is taking a little bit because it's a video clip. As soon as that's done, I can find that on the network drive. So I've gone through a lot of different things, and we're already kind of getting to that timing here. I'm going to just kind of get through the last little bit here. This is one thing that I find teachers don't seem to understand. This is being able to make, right now I'm running in a mirrored mode. So what I have on my iMac in the corner is what's the same that's here. But if I was, let's say, having a movie playing for my kids to watch and consume that content, or I was having them watch a video over here, and I had a really important email over on my computer that I have to respond to at that second, I could actually be using extended desktop to respond to that email, that emergency email. So all I have to do on my keyboard is hit Command and F1, which is the brightness screen, and now it's going to toggle my screen over here, hopefully. It's taking its sweet time, but I think it's because I was mirroring, I was full screen there. So now I'm in extended desktop. I could drag my window over to my other screen, and this sometimes takes a little bit of extra finagling of this window to resize it, but you can also remember if I go up and hit that green traffic light and back down, sometimes it'll get us where we want to be. But if I want to go back to mirror desktop, I just hit Command F1, and I should be back up the way I was. All right, so here we've got that option moving for me, and that's my last slide. Now, if you're on the live feed, you can chat me questions. I'll respond to those if you're on the live feed. If you're not on the live feed and you want to just ask me questions like Mike's right here, you can ask me questions too. So you got anything else you want to hear about, Mike? Not in the live feed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the video feed off, but if you guys have questions, send me an email to aschultz@wapakaschools.org. There'll be more things happening next Tuesday for Tech Tuesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. See you later. Have a great day. All right. You got to remember I'm on this computer, and I'm stopping.